Hey guys, so as you already know, we reviewed Total War Warhammer. This is actually the Total War Warhammer Chaos Warriors Race Pack, which came pre-purchased as DLC if you pre-order the game, or you can purchase it separately. And this adds an individual faction to the game. It's a totally new hard faction that you can play a campaign with, and it adds new legendary lords, units, mounts, items, quest chains, and mechanics to Total War Warhammer. Now we're going to just briefly show you the introduction, and then we're going to show you some gameplay following that. So see you after the jump.
The old world is weak. The mortal nations flounder in their own incessant and petty wars. Ignorant of what truly awaits in the north. I come before the mighty Archaon as a mere minion. For now, at least, the gods' favored champion chooses to hear my advice. I pray to the dark powers that I do not fail him. Despite such a risk, I urge my master that now is the time to march south. The Northmen grow restless. We must harness that and send the tribes in a great tide southwards to flood the old world. Archaon himself, chosen of the gods, will lead the hordes of chaos as we despoil the lands of men and dwarfs. No soul, no matter how blackened or pure, shall see salvation.
So that's the suitably epic intro to Chaos Warriors from Total War Warhammer. The DLC you could have purchased separately, or you get when you pre-purchase the game. And as we said before, there are 3 new playable legendary lords in this, and each one is basically going to lead the Chaos Warriors to annihilate the old world. The theory here isn't to collect settlements; it's actually to raze them to the ground and maybe even bring armies up from the dead that you've slaughtered on the battlefield. The 3 legendary lords in this are Sigvald the Magnificent. He has a fondness for hedonistic excess, which saw him exiled from his tribe, and he likes to kill anything that's ugly or unsavory. There's Kolek Suneater, who's a formidable figure, a gigantic dragon ogre, towers over his opponents on the battlefield and considered by some to be like a god. And there's Archaon the Everchosen, who's a Sigmarite Templar, and who's got ruinous powers which give them blessing to set out on a quest to become the Everchosen Lord of the End Times. Now, let's say there's a Horde style playstyle in this, which adds a new feature to Total War Warhammer, and it just basically allows the Chaos Warriors to raise enemy settlements and set up encampments anywhere where they can take their war spoils with them. The only thing, the army of Chaos is rest only when exhaustion halts their marching, so you really do just keep going and going and going with these guys. But there are new units, buildings, items, and technology, so you can seek out the powerful artifacts of chaos and become the true herald of the apocalypse. And of course, you just spread corruption in the name of chaos, so all the kind of the foul energies that drive the Chaos Warriors can be used in this content. So the Chaos Warrior units, they've been altered to become like living weapons. They've been honed to do their master's work and robed in dark hellforged armor. They have no need for food, drink, sleep, or other comforts, and they just thrive on carnage, essentially. You've got a Chaos Dragon mount, which the giant beasts have sailed the skies, as brethren do, and only the most powerful foe or enemy can actually ride this creature, and they cannot be tamed. Then you've got Forsaken, you've got Dragon Ogres, you've got Gorbeast Chariots, Hell Cannons. And as I said before, with the legendary lords, you can hire actual troops to work alongside you. So you've got, with Archaon the Everchosen, you've got Prince Sigvald and Kolek Suneater. You've got a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who's a caster. You've got a Chaos Sorcerer and an Exalted Hero. War Horses, Manticores. There's all kinds of things being added to this content, and it really just... It's actually really epic. It actually completely changes the game in many ways, because as I said before, when you're sort of wandering and traipsing the map and you're destroying things, it kind of makes you feel a little bit it's because with the development of Total War Warhammer and getting your factions to progress in the game, you really feel like this is just like annihilation, and you're building towards a destruction of the planet as you know it. So it's a really different and interesting way to play. And also as well, you've got a unit which is exclusive to this pack, so there's something you can't play or use if you haven't purchased the pack with the game. You've got the Hell Cannon Artillery, and they will not appear in the base game if you do not have the DLC, so that's something else to bear in mind as well. Again, we've got further things as well. We've got Chaos Knights, we've got Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, Gorbeast Chariots, we've got Dragon Ogres Shagoffs, all kinds of things are in here. It's a great piece of content, and I think it's going for about $9.99, so it's really well worth the extra purchase if you don't already own it. You're seeing here I'm going into battle. You've also got riding foes and forces right from the beginning. The battle is just raging here. I'm just sending the foes fleeing. I've got a real decisive advantage here. But I think the one thing that really does make this hard, and as I've said before, this is a hard campaign compared to some of the others, is that because you are just basically raising settlements to the ground, you're not really getting much of a chance to develop and rest. It's just all about all-out fighting all the time, which is going to be suited to a lot of people's play styles. But for other people who are just sort of have been used to kind of developing and strategizing, this just kind of suits all-out thrash, smash mouth action all the time, which is great. And I'd say there's definitely a market for this when you're playing these types of games, as well as the strategy. As you see here, I'm just about to raise this to the ground. Actually, no, I raise an army here, sorry. So I'm going to raise an army rather than raise it to the ground. But you can do exactly that. Bolster your forces or just destroy. It's a great piece of content, and we definitely recommend it. See you next time.